This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, LowcoSports fans, Justin Jarrett along with Wes Kerr. Welcome to another edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown, Monday night edition. So we're recovering from the weekend. We stay busy over the weekend, typically. Friday night, of course, always busy. And then we've always got something going on the weekend, certainly around here. And I'm sure you do too. But we've got some great stuff to run down tonight. Going to have some guests on later. Bracken Lambert going to jump on and talk Sand Shark Athletics and talk about our new shows that we're doing with those guys, which are very exciting. And, of course, basketball season right around the corner. I know you're repping the Sand Sharks with your I'm repping the Sand Sharks tonight, but you're always repping them for your this is from the Garnet era, before they went to the teal. This is old school. Yeah, the Garnet era. Bracken and I came up with that today. And then we're going to have Ron Peduzzi. 8 in a row for Hilton Head Christian Academy. We'll get Coach Peduzzi on here. You know, we had my impersonation on here, but we haven't had the actual thing. So we're going to get Coach Peduzzi on here, talk about HHCA. They've been on a roll. I'm sure he's going to fuss a little bit about the seeding because they got the number 4 seed in the SCHSL 3A playoffs, despite being 8-2. With one of those losses coming to a Georgia Power. So, you know, you got a team that's, what's Florence Christian, like 6-4 or something like that, and they're ranked, they're seeded second. So I know they beat Wilson Hall, but
yeah, and I think it's an imbalanced schedule from what I've experienced.
Yeah, that's the thing. Pinewood didn't have to play any of the
divisions, either divisions or regions, or to have everybody play everyone, because when you're doing it this way, it's just you're not gonna have the best capabilities of determining who's the best, second best, third best team when you have different schedules and you don't play everybody. So it's a tough situation.
You can't just go straight off the record against 3A when you have an imbalanced schedule. That's the thing. Like, so I don't know, man, but whatever. I mean, it matters too, because it means that Christian Academy has to go to Pinewood in the semifinals instead of potentially playing them in a neutral site in the championship game. Right. And so it does matter. And there wasn't an easy way to do it, but it seemed to me that Wilson Hall and HHCA both being 8-2 with 1 loss in region, that held more weight for me than Florence Christian's resume, despite Florence Christian's win over Wilson Hall. Like, that seemed like the outlier to me. So I thought they should have been seeded 4th, but then, you know, HHCA would have had to go to Wilson Hall, because you would have had to seed Wilson Hall ahead of them with the head-to-head win. So in my mind, it should have been Wilson Hall 2nd, then HHCA, then Florence. But again, if you get past Wilson Hall, you don't have to seed Pinewood until neutral site. So it does matter. I think the other brackets were mostly pretty okay. I thought BA was fortunate to get a home game. I didn't really expect that. I thought they got some respect there. So that was good. I think Bethesda's a problem.
Yeah, I like that path. You wouldn't have to see, and BA, they know they can hang with Williamsburg, and you know, to get that.
They played them pretty tough even without Devontae. So I feel like that's an interesting matchup for them. Carlton Prep, I know, wants another shot. I know Carlton Prep wants another shot at Bethesda with Cole, you know, back to being able to do a little bit at least. I mean, he's not 100%, but he still rushed for 250 yards and 4 touchdowns or whatever against BA. So I know Carlton Prep will like another shot there, and I'd like to see that too. So the 1A bracket in SCHSL is interesting. Patrick Henry or Thomas Hayward jumped to the 1 seed, so they'll get 2 home games. They should be, for all intents and purposes, back at Charleston Southern, and then potentially a Patrick Henry Dorchester rematch in the other semifinal. So that could be fun too. So I like those brackets.
All Lowco championship games, and maybe even a triple header on Saturday. We'll have to see.
I mean, I wouldn't rule it out. 2A is going to be the hardest road to hoe. 3A is tough too, though, because Christian Academy will have to go to Pinewood in the semi. So, and then in the other brackets, we'll get into it a little bit later, but the other brackets got some good matchups. Bluffton against Richland Northeast. You're going to go to that one. That's going to be awesome. First, we're going to go to Hampton County at 5:00 on Friday. We're going to set up shop at the Hurricanes Sports Cafe and do a little pregame show and have a little meet and greet, and then we'll scoot to our games since we have 2 out there. Wes will scoot back to Bluffton, and we'll have people out and about all over the place to report on it later that night. So should be good times. But let's talk about some other sports, Wes, because we do have other headlines to mention. Most notably, SCHSL cross-country championships this past weekend, and we had another state champ team. The JP2 boys took home the 3A title. Zach Henderson led the way in 1724, but right behind him, Blake Hubick in 1742 and Sebastian Frickel in 1743. They finished 4th, 5th, and 6th to anchor JP2, and they won the title. And so congrats to them. Some other standouts in there. Holy Trinity girls, 2nd in 2A. Virginia Brunson was the individual champ, 2257. Abby Brock, runner-up for JP2 girls in 2054. Jaden Powell from Thomas Hayward won the boys 2A title in 1912, just a sophomore. And then the cross girls finished 2nd with 2-3-4 finishes from Elizabeth Von Mauer, Maggie Drury, and Gretchen Holmes. So some pretty good showings. And we're still trying to track down some high school league cross-country results.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the 4A, the region meets. 3A, we got over.
We have a friend in the green room, Wes. We weren't sure if he got our message or not, but we're going to have a friend joining us just shortly.
Yeah. Region 8 3A had their meets. Beaufort to Isolde Antietam. The sisters always, being right there in the mix, having another terrific year. Isolde, so just a freshman, she put up a 1945. That's a pretty solid time over there in the girls' classification for the region meets. And then over on the boys' side, Gavin Moore, who it seems like we have been covering him for ages, and he's just a sophomore. And he pulls out a 1639. So certainly there's a lot of hype with when he was able to finally make that jump from just youth running over to Beaufort. But he's done a terrific job, and he's looked the parts, and still got a couple more years left. But great to see Moore getting some more success over there with the Eagles. But Philip Simmons going 1, 2, 3. Pierce Walker, Joseph Wright, Ian Mulaney, they ran away with the region crown, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7 on the boys 5K.
All right, so we had region qualifiers this week, and then we have lower state and then state, or state?
Yeah, I think lower state this coming weekend.
I think there's still 2 weeks. Yeah.
But congratulations to JP2 boys.
JP2 boys bringing home the title. There's one kid on the team, I'm not sure his name, but he runs up and down my street, and he's running all the time. So I imagine he was probably running a pretty good time this weekend. But let's shift gears to volleyball, because as I mentioned, we do have a friend in the green room, and we're going to bring him in. Welcome Roger Wilson and his famous mustache to the show. Roger, what's going on, buddy? I haven't seen you in a long time, since the BA days, way back when I was at the newspaper and you were coaching at BA. And then I walked into the gym the other day, and I looked across and saw a guy in a Hawaiian shirt with a big old bushy mustache. And I said, is that Roger Wilson? And sure enough, here you are in the lower state championship game, buddy. Good to see you. How you been?
I've been doing good.
Hey,
been enjoying this year
a little bit so we can see you. There we go. Pull your phone back a little bit so we can see you. There we go. We want to see that mustache.
How about that?
There we go. This your first year back in it this year? Is this your first year back in it?
Well, this is my 3rd year at Bridges. When I left BA, I went to Ladies Island Middle, and then went to Beaufort High for 4 years, and then retired. And then the AD, Blake Gruel, at that time at Bridges, called me and asked me if I'd come start my volleyball program. So this is my 3rd year there.
Blake called you the most interesting man in the world the other night. You got any idea why he might say that?
No.
Wes, what do you got for Roger?
Well, first of all, congratulations to you and your team for making it to the lower state championship. Looking forward to heading your way tomorrow night over at Bridges. But just reflect on this playoff run, what you've seen so far, and how these girls have risen to the challenge to get to this point in the season.
Well, I'll tell you, it's this is the furthest we've been. We have already seemed to get knocked out in the first round, so it is exciting. It is really exciting, and I was so nervous the other night.
Yeah, it was a nail biter, and
we've got
they came out. The other team came out really strong in that first set and played really good defense, frustrated the heck out of you guys. But I was impressed by your girls' ability to keep their head and rally and come back and take that second set in a fight. And then I felt like you just carried the momentum from there. So I guess talk a little bit about the growth of this team over the last couple of years and what was able to get you over the hump this season.
Yeah, well, you're right about that. Momentum got on our side after the first set. We just didn't play it too good. I think everybody was just nervous. And after that, well, to win that second set 25-23, that, I don't know. I guess that kind of knocked the air out of them. And the next two was, we went away with it then.
Yeah, rode momentum the rest of the way. You mentioned that you've been in this program for a couple of years, starting to see some big time growth now in year 3, getting to the Final Four in Class 1A. And describe some of these upperclassmen who have, led the way and carried that kind of leadership for this team that is really starting to show now. So, just name some standouts that have been particularly important in helping the growth of this program.
Oh yes, I got a bunch of good girls, and phone keeps breaking up a little bit. Out here on Fripp, I tell you what, these phones, they're on and off.
I hear you.
I missed about half of what you were saying.
He was just asking for some of your standout players this season.
My standout players?
Especially the upperclassmen, the leaders.
Well, I got all of them. All of them are standout players. But I got 2 great setters in Bree Schneider and Celia Sanders. We're running a 6-2, so they're really good setters, and our middles are great. As I always tell them at every game, if my middles go, we go. Yep. If our middles don't go, it's a hard night.
Yep. I would agree with that from what I saw the other night. When your middles were really effective in the middle and making them hit around them and through them, you were able to get a lot more balls up, and certainly they're very effective in the block and they can go on offense too. I was impressed with your squad. Do they all play together in the travel circuit? Are they familiar with each other on the court?
Yeah, well, we all played together in club last year, or the girls played club. I coached a lot of JV girls last year because I couldn't coach my varsity girls, but and pulled 3 of them up this year on the varsity that could have still been playing JV, but they improved so much that I says, all right, I got to get our chemistry working, and it did.
Yeah.
Nothing like those mid-season call-ups to, find those extra pieces that you need to complete that solid roster. But, it's fun. It's great to have a team that's still playing, and especially for a 1A school, that's really had a quick rise with yourself and this team at the helm. So, just reflect on these last few seasons and what it means to be where are you now and to lead a smaller program to this level here in the Lowco.
I'm sorry.
Broke up.
Heard about half of what you're saying.
keep it short, Wes.
To break it up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
okay.
Yeah, I just want to hear more about your journey as a coach. What led you here to Bridges Prep and these last few years, the journey that you've been on and how special it's been.
Well, this year as a coach, it's really been a great fun year. We started off in our region, and I think we were 9-1 in our region. So we had, until this year, we never beat Bamberg, or Branchville. So,
oh wow,
by beating them this year, that was really great.
Yeah, it's a big step in the right direction. And now you have Lakeview at home tomorrow night in the lower state finals. Looks like they've had a couple of really tooth and nail battles in the playoffs. So they've been tested, but they've also, had to struggle a little bit. So how are you feeling about this matchup?
I really don't know. I haven't seen them play. I heard from the latter girls that we played and beat the other night. They said that their number 14, I think she's outside hitter, was really the player we have to look and stop. So we're gonna do everything we can to stop her, and then maybe we can. Well, if we get our serves going, that's what brought us back the other night. Is our serving. We got some girls that can really serve the ball, and they got us back into the game the other night. So if we're serving and our middles is on top of their game, I think we'll do pretty good. I think it'll be a hard fight.
Yep. Oh yeah,
but
you get to this level, it's always going to be a hard fight. You get to this
playoffs, it's going to be a battle every time you get out there. So I'm expecting a fun matchup tomorrow night, Halloween night over at Bridges Prep. Going to be an exciting one. Tell me about the fan support and the excitement and just being at home for this kind of match. Just describe how cool it will be to host a semifinal or a lower state final game like this in front of the fans.
Oh, it was great the other night with the fans that we had there. I think that really pepped the girls up, and looking for that again tomorrow night too. So yes, it helped being at home.
We got blackout.
We never had been at home before.
Blackout.
So blackout. Let's go.
Got a blackout tomorrow night. So you got a costume plan, Roger? You gonna use that mustache in a man in black costume or something?
I just heard about that today, but no, I'll probably go with my Jimmy Buffett outfit.
There you go.
A Hawaiian shirt and shorts.
Just tell them you're dressed as Jimmy Buffett for Halloween. You'll be all set.
Oh, I'm excited.
That's it.
I'm excited to see that.
It was great to talk with you, Roger. It's great to see you're still coaching and making a difference out there. And you got another team on the cusp of a championship, so you still know what you're doing, bud.
Yeah, well, we got our fingers crossed. All we got to do is play hard, get my distance here, and then we'll go to Columbia Saturday.
That's right. Well, best of luck, buddy. We appreciate you jumping on with us.
Okay, sure thing, Justin. You take care. And
too,
see you tomorrow night.
Wes will be there tomorrow night. I gotta hand out candy. Take the kids.
Okay.
Trick or treat. I'll be busy. I'll see you later, bud. Go get them.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Roger Wilson and his wonderful mustache, legendary mustache. He's been around the Lowco for many a moon, probably since well before my days. He was coaching at BA as early as I can remember being here back in 2005, and he's been in and around it, as he mentioned, all kinds of different places. Wherever they wanted him to stick his hand in there and help build a volleyball program, he was happy to do it. So props to him, and got another team on the cusp of something special over there at Bridges Prep. So hopefully you can bring them home a win tomorrow night, Wes. Get them to Columbia on Saturday. That'd be good. Yeah. I brought some good vibes the other night. Now it's your turn. So we'll see.
Okay, I got the memo for the blackout. Now I got
blackout. Yeah, yes, you gotta bring it.
So. I'm excited to see the student turnout because they know how to cheer on their team. So
they had some Creek kids over there cheering them on last time too. I saw the kicker.
We love that. We love to see the one Lowco. The multiple Lowco teams representatives cheering for one team. That's what it's all about. That's the best. When other teams are eliminated or just other fans from the Lowco go to watch a team that's still playing, still fighting for a championship. That's awesome.
Absolutely. So let's recognize our MVP sponsors before we get to our next guest, starting with the woman in the other room, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. You guys don't know how much she supported getting this thing off the ground and keeping it running over the years with her work ethic, but she certainly did. And now she has shifted gears. She's stepping out on her own as a real estate agent with the Pierce Group of eXp Realty, and she would love to help you find your place in the Lowco, whether it's a starter home or your forever home. She's going to help you find the perfect one because she is the official realtor of LowcoSports and the queen bee of the Lowco Hive. And when she finds you that home, we're going to go over to Homegrown Home Inspections and have them take a look at it. Jan Lucas and his team are the best home inspectors in the Lowco, and that's why they're the official home inspectors of LowcoSports. Give them a call if you're buying a new home or building a new home. Make sure that they inspect it through every phase of the building process, and you're making a great investment in the Lowco real estate market. And when it's time to sign the papers, we'll go to the Mickelson Law Firm, the first sponsors and the official real estate closing attorneys of LowcoSports. Still with us 6 years later, Ryan and Tiffany and the Mickle Squad will take care of you with all your legal needs, and they're taking care of a growing Mickle Squad as well. New babies all the time. And they're all good athletes. Coached a few of them and gotten to know a bunch of them. Love the Mickelson Law Firm, official real estate closing attorneys of LowcoSports. And finally, Hospice Care of the Low Country, the official hospice care of LowcoSports. We've seen firsthand all the great work they do in our community, from hospice care and palliative care to free grief counseling. And the CEO, James Dismond, is working to build a bigger, better team at Hospice Care of the Low Country, where it's not about dying, it's about living. They have several job openings. So let them know if you're looking for work in the healthcare industry, especially not-for-profit, doing work in the community. Those are our MVP sponsors. And now we welcome in USCB Sports Information Director and longtime friend of Lowco, Bracken Lambert, to talk Sand Sharks. What's up, buddy? You're on mute. There we go.
Sorry about
welcome,
that.
Sir. Welcome. Got a couple things going on. Got a World Series game going on. Trying to keep track of.
Yeah, now all of a sudden I'm getting some Christmas in October.
There you go. Well, welcome, Bracken. We had a great show the other night, the maiden voyage of Sand Shark Rewind, where you and Wes broke it down for us and let us know about what's happening with the Sand Sharks. But for the folks who missed that one, and certainly won't miss the next one, fill us in on what's happening over at USCB. Obviously, basketball's coming, but it's still soccer season over there.
And had another win today.
That's right. Soccer made a little bit of history today. 6-0 win, 6-0 win over Allen. Best or I don't know, a little tired.
Highest win total
in program history. Picked up its 12th win this afternoon. Great to see just everybody. It was the starters played about 30 minutes and scored 5 goals and came back in and got a lot of valuable minutes for the second team. And again, somebody that we've mentioned quite a few times, Mari Kalvatin, two more goals today, so 6 more points to her career. Kristen Beltasad with 2 goals. Both Norwegians had headers, so we'll go with that. And then Jenny
Hesby, header factory.
So all 3 of the first half goals were by the Norwegians. And Jenny blasted one from about 27 yards out that hit the upper 90. A beautiful shot, just curved it right in. And then Bella Estevez picked up her first goal of the year late in the second half. So a great day. Jay has done tremendous
work.
You
get a goal.
That's what it felt like.
It really has been that way this whole season. And now Mari Kalvatin adding 2 more. She is, I believe, up to 12 goals on the season and 56 in her career. That is incredible. That is
56. Yep.
That's a crazy number.
Yeah. 56, 30 something assists closing in. She's 20 minutes away from 6,500 minutes played in a Sand Shark uniform.
I'm tired just thinking about that.
Have 150 career points. However, I do think that one of her records is going to be taken down next year by her fellow countrywoman Senbai Anderson, who was named today the I was about to say Sun Conference, the Peach Belt Player of the Week.
All right.
the game winner against Georgia Southwestern, 3 assists on Monday against Bruton Parker, 6 points. And she had 3 more assists today. She's got 15 on the year now.
Wow.
It's
nice.
Tremendous.
Yeah, so
you gotta have that player to be able to have somebody putting up goals like Marius. You gotta have somebody who facilitates.
Creativity, great passer, outstanding vision. Yeah, unselfish. That's the best word to describe her play out there. I've been able to watch her a ton, and she takes a lot of the set pieces and distributes the ball so well. So such an integral part to how this offense will tick. And then our home finale coming up on Thursday. I'll be on the golf course with Alex Long and a chance to finish 10-0 at Finland Field.
Yeah.
How special is that?
That's awesome.
A chance to finish.
I can't imagine how they're feeling. I mean, I was pretty pumped going into today. I was talking with Troy, the SID at Allen, and he's like, "Dude, y'all are just having a hell of a year there." And at home,
you already played Allen once, right? You took care of them up there.
Yeah, we played Allen. It's it's a nice kind of a nice easy game to kind of build the confidence back up. I mean, but I'm going to give Allen all the credit. While today's game was not as competitive as the first meeting, I will say that they have gotten better each and every year from that first shellacking they had from 2 years ago. That was
I remember that.
That was a tough one. That was all of the Sand Shark single game records occurred during that game 2 years ago. So
something 20 or they put up 20 or something. It was some
29.
29. That shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen.
If you ask Jay about it, it was not.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, we have to have some kind of measures in place that make sure that doesn't happen. Like,
there was
if it's like 15-0, it should just be game over or something. Like, we don't need to go to 29. That's nobody's getting anything out of that.
But we do have some news coming into this weekend. While Thursday is our season finale, the season's not over. Monday we travel to Greenwood to square off with Lander.
That's right.
And the Peach Belt opening or quarter.
That was a 1-1 draw in the regular season in the most recent meeting, right?
Yeah, 1-1 draw. We scored.
Did you just play once?
Only played once. Yeah. Sin scored the go-ahead goal with about 20 minutes left there in the 70th minute, and we went into defensive mode, tried to keep them off the board, and they broke through there with about 8 minutes left. So that would have been a huge win. That could have propelled us if we I don't think we would have gotten 4, but we would have battled for 4. That would have secured 5 last weekend. So
so really, it might not have changed the outcome.
Still have to go there. The game before, and so certainly there are a lot of points that were left on the table, but even so, a lot to be proud of. And Jay Harris you got to be happy about the way they played, and especially some of those other losses to those top teams. They were in every game, and even on the road, and certainly would have maybe helped a bit to play some of those tougher games home. But all in all,
but then you wouldn't be undefeated at home.
Right.
Those games against Columbus State and North Georgia, both competitive. I was not at the North Georgia game, but I was at the Columbus State game, and it was a competitive game. We had a couple of opportunities, but those teams are just very, there's a reason why the Peach Belt's one of the best conferences in the country. And, heard, a couple rumors that Flagler might be going down to the Sunshine State Conference here in the next few years or so. That's already
made more sense. Yeah, that always made more sense for them.
Yeah. So, that might be it. And, in 2025, we've got Middle Georgia, who's going to be joining us, and Talladega, who is making the appeal again to get into the NCAA Division II. So they're going to try applying again next year. So they may get it again.
They've got some good programs.
Yeah, they've got some facilities on the way. We were up there, or I should say over there, at the beginning of October, and it was a beautiful turf field. They've got the space for it. They just need to get those facilities up. But a great place. Talladega is a going to be a good team to join in the Peach Belt.
Yeah.
They'll join as an auxiliary member for women's soccer, but Middle Georgia's looking to join as a full-fledged member in 2025, so that'll bring
addition.
Yeah, if Flagler does leave, but
Right.
I mean, but that brings
it's
it to
not
11.
just Division One. It's not just Division One that has the conference realignment carousel going on. It's happening everywhere. Everybody's looking for greener grass.
Yeah, but it's
shorter
it's
trips,
fun. We're excited.
Yeah,
so,
I'm excited. I think this team is built. Going back to the team as a whole for soccer, I think this team is built to battle against anybody, and they've proven that. Like I said, by those games on the road, by they've handled themselves as the years gone on. I just think they've become more of a complete team. The back line has been really solid. Leah White, Adriana Martin were just textbook in the way they were able to shut down the opposing offenses in these last few weeks. So I think everything is coming around the form, and they've proven themselves. They've been able to score from a lot of different pieces, as we talked about a lot in depth on Saturday. So I think you're playing with house money. I think that this opportunity that you have to win a conference championship, I think there's less pressure on in this year. So I think this team will play loose, and there's I mean, obviously especially the seniors, I'm sure there's a lot they want to prove a lot, but I think the team as a whole, you have that house money factor as you get ready for the conference tournament.
Yeah.
Sure. It's gonna be a fun weekend. Let's take care of business on Thursday, and then we'll focus on Monday. But basketball's coming, and so we've got another show. JJ, I saw your comment. Gina posted that picture of the new wall graphics. How you think?
Looks nice.
We're all these years we haven't named him. Like, we have Finnegan, but we don't have.
He doesn't need a name.
I mean, we could have a name.
He's just a logo. He's just a Sand Shark.
Well,
he's flat. He doesn't need a name.
Well,
he's only got 2 dimensions.
I think it made me think about it from when I was at JP2 and their mascot. They don't have a physical mascot, but the warrior is Miles. You'll have to ask.
I could have done without that. He's less intimidating now because his name is Miles.
Ask Coach Gaylor about that one. So
all right, I guess so. But if you want more Sand Shark news, you can head over and check out Sand Shark Rewind from this weekend on the Lowco Media Network. And Bracken and Wes will get you all filled in on all things Sand Sharks. And then when's the next USCB All Access over at Ocotillo House?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
So
All right, next Tuesday.
We'll have
Wes is the host.
Yep.
Bracken's behind the camera.
Yep. Yeah, we'll have both.
At that point, we'll be just a couple days away from basketball.
Yeah, I'll be on the call.
We'll have Ron and Sharon. I
think I got Red Bruin lined up for my commentary on Game 1, so that should be fun.
Nice. Yeah, we'll have Ron and Sharon on, and then we'll have I'm working on Jay. It's
Jay Harris. Well, you can hear him on the Sand Shark Rewind. He's worth listening to alone. Just his voice, his accent. It's great.
Yeah. He's a big family man. So as soon as we got back from Columbia today, he hopped off the bus, took everything to the office, and he went right back out to the pitch and was watching Kaya and Nala at practice with Tormenta.
Yeah, so. my buddy Sammy Dubbs, who people know who watch the show, his daughters, or he coached Jay's daughters in basketball this year and said they're dogs, absolute dogs,
great kids. So and then make sure you catch out some highlights from Finnegan's appearance over at In Market Arena.
I saw him sliding down the rail and biffed.
We've got a couple. We've got some clips coming. Former softball player Alyssa Smith is working over there part-time right now, but she's killing it over there. So give her a little shout out for the work she's done over there and working with the game day production staff. So we're hoping to get some clips from Davy's birthday dash, the Davy Dash.
Nice.
And then I've got some stuff from behind the scenes. So it's a lot of fun, and we're really happy. Thankful to the Savannah Ghost Pirates for letting Finnegan come and hang out for Davy's birthday.
Fun fact, I was the first clown to climb into that costume.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I'm cleaning out our desk, all these years later. And then I
had to wear it at the steakhouse.
Oh goodness!
You found what?
Found those original
renderings.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, where?
Well, we had like a dozen that were. It was like looking at those. Which one of these is not like the other one? Trying to figure out what was different about them. Oh, this one's got bigger pecs. It was like they all looked exactly the same.
Yeah,
you just had to pick
I think
one.
I liked,
but that one you showed me has giant pecs. Somebody was like, "No, we can't do that one."
Yeah, I think I liked the two-tone the best. Just the fact that it was like the two-tone of the shark, and I didn't care. I didn't even pay attention. You brought that one up. I was like, oh wait, there's cool
giant pecs.
Giant. He's just jacked. So, but
yeah, we had so many to look at, dude. At one point, you're just like, I don't know, this one looks fine. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Finnegan's gonna have Finnegan's got some new clothes that he'll be debuting on the 11th.
New threads, nice.
New threads. So it's gonna be fun.
Thanks for jumping on with us, man. We appreciate it, and we'll see you real soon.
All right, guys.
Get some rest later.
Peace out.
That's Bracken Lambert, USCB Sports Information Director, sitting in my old chair, doing a great job, and big things coming from the Sand Sharks. Let's shout out the varsity sponsors, DDS Web Design. We're all online all the time. You're always waiting for us to do our lives. So while you're poking around online, you're always looking for stuff to buy or stores to go to. If you don't have a website for your business, or you have one that nobody's clicking on, you need to work on that, because there's a lot of business to be done online. And DDS Web Design will help you find it by getting your site up and running and using the best search engine optimization tactics to make sure you get found so you can do more and think bigger. They love to work with small businesses and nonprofits. So hit them up at DDSHHI.com and tell them that Lowco sent you. And then we've got Parker Law Group. Our new friends at Parker Law Group have been serving folks with their legal needs across Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties for years. And now they're supporting us to allow us to continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Like we said, Dave Carrick wanted to know where we're going to be. I guess you weren't listening at the top, Dave. You missed the top. We're going to Hampton County, 5 p.m. 5 to 6, we're going to do a little live show at the Hurricane Sports Cafe in Hampton, and then we're gonna, because we got home games at Hampton County and Patrick Henry, and they invited us to do a live show there a few weeks ago. So we said, well, let's do it. Let's go do it. We'll take the sandbox anywhere. Somebody will let us set it up. So we're gonna go see how that goes and hang out with the people in Hampton County, and then jet off to our games. And I'll probably hit both those games out there. You're gonna book it back to Bluffton, Richland Northeast, which I think is the best game in the state this week across all classifications. I think it's amazing. And we're going to have, I think Marcus Walsh is going to go to Hilton Head Christian Academy, where our next guest will be Mr. Ron Peduzzi. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you. Good evening.
The actual Ron Peduzzi, not my version. What's going on, buddy? You've been sitting in the green room for a minute. I hope we had some snacks in there for you. Welcome to the show. 8 wins in a row for the Eagles after everybody was, fretting and stewing about that 0-2 start. I'm sure you weren't too concerned because you hadn't even taken them, away for a week to make them into men yet. But tell us about the evolution of this team and where you are now with 8 wins in a row under your belt.
Well, we started with a pretty good football team from Savannah. And they had a lot of talent.
Had about 6 or 7 D1 guys over there.
Yeah, they're pretty good. So they were good, and I'll take full blame. I'm the one who scheduled them. I thought in the long run it would be good for us both years, and I'm going to say it has been good for us because they're the best team we've seen all year. Yeah. And, of course, we just couldn't match up with them. But the second week, we definitely struggled a little bit. We had a couple guys jump in the ball game late. They came late to a couple guys came late to camp. We had to start, basically we did the whole offensive line. The only guy who returned was Connor White. So everybody was brand new. Dylan had to get used to the offensive line, and the offensive line had to get better. And we had to figure out some people where they needed to play and where they didn't need to play. And after the second game, we definitely had what we did is we put everybody went one way. So we had everybody one way in offense, one way in defense. We got a good kicker. We got a good punter. And so they got maximum reps in both ways. And then they were repping against each other. The ones were repping against the ones, giving them the scout look and vice versa. So as that went on, and it got a lot better, and we got Toddy. He got settled in, and running back position, we put James Crosby. He's not a natural running back, as you can see.
He's a bowling ball is what he is. He's a wrecking ball. He likes to just drill people.
I'm like, James, the cut's back over here. No. So, all right, James. But he's gotten better and better blocking. So it's given Dylan a little more confidence as far as that goes in blocking. And then we got our wide receivers lined up right, and it takes repetition. And our system, we do have a lot of pass plays. And it's not the same old 3 pass plays. So we have a lot of plays, and they need repetition, and they got more repetition. When Toddy got back, and then AJ Halps had a great year, and Gage had a Loken, and Harrison Arnholt's the X over there. He's the quiet guy, and then I gave Dylan a lot more confidence, and John Halps done a great job coaching the offense and quarterback. So that got we kind of got it steered in the right direction there, and the defense has been good from the get go. And you had the defense, you had Zane over there on your show a couple of weeks ago, and he's done a real great job. Tucker Teverpals is really good. He'll hit you now. He'll hit you, and we've had a lot of guys do really good over there. So Ben Lippin, of course, was a big game, and we went up there, and Reed McCollum made a big play, and the defense stopped them, and the offense got together and put some nice scores together, and I think we shocked them. They were in shock. They were undefeated. And then we rolled off a list of 3 games beating undefeated teams.
Yeah.
I think Northwood and I think Buford Academy, and that's kind of turned it around, and we've gone from there. So when the defense wants to play, they could definitely play. I can name all those guys, and they've done a really good job. I mean, Jackson Conrad, the nose guard. Last year on defense, Matt Smith, Matt Smith, the defensive coordinator. And at the end, he's like, no, we should have stuck with our defense, our 3-4, and our schemes. And, we didn't have the biggest guys are not what we want. We want guys who can move and shift and fly to the ball. So we kind of didn't have that last year. We tried to do some other things, a 4-3. That's not us. So Matt says, no matter what, we're staying with the 3-4 and our cover 2 shell. And schematically, that's what we've done. And he stayed with it. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows their job. And everybody knows where to go and what to do. So it's repetition.
Yeah,
and
it's been working like these last 2 weeks as you've rolled through the rest of the regular season schedule, but certainly it'll be a much bigger challenge as you get ready for the playoffs. First round up against PD Academy.
Yeah, well, we played PD Academy a couple of weeks ago, and they held the ball the first half for just about forever. And we helped them out. We jumped off sides, pretty undisciplined there, and we roughed the
fumbled one on the goal line too, didn't you?
We had to stop on the goal line. The guys had to stop. I think Tucker recovered. Tucker played great that game. He had a fumble recovery on the goal line, 2 interceptions, 2 legal big-time high school football hits, which broke up passes and really did good. But they held the ball for so long. I think we only had 12 plays in the first half on offense, and that's not good. So we need to do a better job come Friday night there.
Well, and I'm sure you're none too pleased about how the seeding shook out. Just because you got a team with 2 fewer wins than you that seeded second. And I know there was a head-to-head thing involved there, but I don't know, man. It's curious. It's curious. I'm sure you have your questions about how you ended up the 4 seed.
Do you want to tell me how that all came about? Do you have the answers?
No. People ask me all the time to explain how SCHSL operations work, and I assure them that 18 years later, I ain't figured it out yet, and I'm not planning to get any answers soon.
Yeah. It's a joke, like the committee. Who's on the committee? Well, no, there's a committee. There's a committee.
Whoever the athletic director decides to consult with. Yeah, I think that's it. Whoever.
Yeah, and I'm not mentioning names, but I'm like, are you serious? I mean, no way. And we don't play each other.
I know you don't play a balanced schedule.
We don't play each other,
and
so
yet you treat in classification results as like sacrosanct. It doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. So what that means is if you get past PD, more than likely you have to travel to Pinewood Prep, which kind of like you guys started off kind of sluggish against a tough schedule and then has just been rolling. Devontae Holloman's got them playing really good football. So not to look past PD, but what do you see in that Pinewood Prep team in a potential matchup in the semifinals?
Oh, they got good defense, good linebacker core, good offensive line. They got a good young quarterback. Pretty kind of similar to us.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
Definitely kind of
they want to play fast. They want to spread you out and take what the defense gives you. Like they are very similar in my
opinion. Mirror image of your own side. I got to see them in person when they came to the Lowco JP2. Really fundamentally sound group. I thought they looked explosive of offense, and they made it tough for defensively for JP2 to do what they wanted. So certainly, Hilton and Christian Academy has been a high-powered offense, but that could be a terrific game if we get it. But obviously, business will be taken care of first on Friday night against PD. But Coach Ron Peduzzi, I want you to give a shout out to your coaching staff. You mentioned Coach Hop and then Mike Smith, who recently got his 100th win here at Hilton Christian Academy. Just reflect on those two careers and just how special it is to be working with them this year.
Oh yeah, well Matt's been around. He's been around a while. He's been around. He was with Tommy Lewis.
Yeah,
and but Matt Smith has like 5 state maybe more, in state championships in 3 different states. Probably 4. He got 4 in this. He got 4, at least 4 in this state. He got 1 in California and I think maybe 2 in Florida. So
really,
yeah.
And he was a Hail Mary away from getting one. Well, he was in SCHSL, but coaching in Georgia with Bible Baptist.
Yeah, that's right. So he's been in a lot of state championships, a lot of games, has a lot of experience. He doesn't have any call sheet, no piece of paper. It's all off his head. Yeah, it is. And he's over there calling animals names and numbers, and it's computer in his head. And just man, nothing can happen with him on a Friday night because no one else knows the calls. Maybe Zane. So Zane would be out there making the calls. So,
well, I think he makes most of the calls after he sees the other team line up because he knows their tendencies so well that he knows what play they're running just by how they line up.
Yeah. His he'll the down and distance and where they're at and those types of things. So he'll make the call. He's done a great job, of course. He really has. And I don't say too much to him about the defense. I'll be no, I will make a comment or whatever, and but he does a great job. So he runs the defense. So I'm just like, I don't even ask him anymore. What are you doing this week? I don't even bother. So I'll help out as we're running the scout team, and I'll see guys what they're doing. I'll be yelling certain things and running the ball and those types of things. But as far as the schematics and the scheme and the calls, it's all Matt. So he's done a great job. Yeah. And John's come over here and he's just jumped in and he's coached the quarterback and really, kind of the coordinator of the offense. And we have a good, as far, I think, it's kind of hard to get our tendencies really as far as play calling because I have the final say so. So when I became the coach here, unlike when I was at prep, I said, offensive play calling, I might not call the play, but I'm the last guy called.
You got the veto power. You got veto power.
I'm sending in the play. And so
who was it? Was it Fuller that prompted you to have veto power?
I'm just saying the next time I'm the head coach, that's what I'm doing. So that's what it was done. It's worked. And Jimmy Taylor before him, and before Jimmy it was just me. And so I was doing that, and Jimmy came in and did a great job, set up our offense and our system, and we pretty much stuck with that system and kind of expanded a little bit and done some different things. But that's what we're kind of done. And John's done a great job. And John, he does a great job with the graphics and all those computer things that I have no clue about. And I'm like, go ahead, John, run with it. So he does a great job. Great relationship with the kids too.
Couple things before we let you get going. Dave Carrick again chiming in with the "Let's Go Steelers." He sees your flag back there, and then I want to let you brag on your kids a little bit because we don't get to brag on them as much as we used to. But JP is up at Washington and Jefferson, where through 8 games he has 40 catches for 757 yards and 12 touchdowns.
Yeah,
leads the team in all 3 categories, so that's amazing.
He's learned to block. He's learned to block from Riley Shin.
And then I haven't kept up that closely, but I keep seeing headlines and stuff that Abby's doing really well at UNC Pembroke too. So I guess just brag on the kids a little bit. You got them across the finish line, got them into college playing ball.
Yeah. And John wanted to play wide receiver and went to Lenore Ryan, and they're like, no, we like you at strong safety. And he's like, I'm a wide receiver. So he goes, I'm going somewhere. And so Mike Sarahan, he's the head coach there, and he jumped up there. And the reason why he went up there is my mom lives up there, my brothers, my sister, they all go to the games if we're not at the game. So it's great. He has somebody there. And he's done, he's really done well and made some big plays. And, as far as a wide receiver, and he loves playing wide receiver. So he's happy about that and doing that. And they've lost 2 close games. Division III, you lose a game, you're in trouble about getting in the playoffs. So they're trying to finish strong. They got everybody coming back for next year, but like 2 guys. So he's done really good there. He's as far as playing wide receiver, he's done good. And he's a great teammate. He will not, even when he was at Christian Academy, coming home in the car, he would not say nothing bad about any of his teammates. So he's a loyal, and he's learned. He's a hard-working, dedicated teammate. So, and Abby's at UNC Pembroke, and she's second on kills, second on points, and third on digs. So she's just getting after it over there. And they've had an up-and-down year, but the last 2 games they swept their opponents. They got a big game tomorrow night at Francis Marion at home. So, which she's done really good too. So. Their mother
234 kills.
Nice. Yeah,
as a true freshman. Let's go.
Yeah. So she's done really good. So they're doing really good. Appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all asking.
Yeah, that's great. And I remember when we talk all the time when John was just a little kid walking along the sidelines, helping out.
I'm pretty sure he was the reason why Graham Gintz's dad had to announce about every 5 minutes to stay off the apparatus and stay away from the ponds because there were alligators in there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there are alligators in there.
JP took off running again. He's over there climbing on the apparatus. I was down there. We were down there Friday, and Mr. Gentz isn't down there anymore. I know. It's not the same.
It's not the same. He got in trouble a couple times. He'd be yelling, "Oh, it's a reverse." The other team would run reverse, and he'd yell out, "It's a reverse."
Little play-by-play on the PA for the other team. Yeah, so there were some good times back then. Yeah. You were coaching at Hilton Prep when I first got here. And,
that's right.
That first year, won a state championship against Carleton Prep up at Orangeburg with Deontay Scott and Niles Murphy and Chucky Scarmanach and all those guys.
Jeremiah Spires, DeAndre Merle. Those are some players. There were some guys there.
Jeremiah Spires.
Yeah.
That guy was something else, man. That guy was something else.
Yeah.
Those were definitely some fun times. But thanks for jumping on with us tonight, man.
All right, guys, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for all you
had one other thing I was going to ask you about that I thought of a minute ago, but it slipped my mind. So we'll have to I know what it was. Dave Carrick says you're sounding like the Pittsburgh dad. But no, I wanted to hear about this story about the rock in your shoe that we heard about the other night. What is this?
My wife heard that, so she goes, "What? You're stupid." That's all. No, we were playing my senior year. We were playing homecoming. It had to be for the region championship. Back then we played each other in the region for the championship. Amazing concept. And our conference, region conference.
Yeah,
and
whatever.
I just saw a rock down there, and I'm like, man, it's the Key. It was called the Keystone Conference, and I'm like, I'm going to be the stone today. I'll put this stone right here, this rock, this stone, in my sock. I put it in my sock, and it reminds me I need to play like a rock every play today. And so we did that. Listen, I never scored a touchdown. John always says, "You never scored a touchdown." I said, "I never scored a touchdown, but I made the key block to score the winning touchdown in that game." So,
because you were
an offensive lineman. So,
love it.
They kind of changed the story up.
They butchered your story a little bit, but they're trying to give you a whole Newt Rockne, one for the Gipper with the rock in your shoe thing.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff, man. Appreciate you so much, and it's been such a great time covering.
All right, guys, thanks a lot,
these
man.
years. We'll see you soon, man.
All right,
peace out. Big Peduzzi. Libby says sock is so much more logical than shoes. Sweet payoff on this story.
First coach I ever interviewed post game after it was alongside Payne. It may have been BJ, but he was the second. Either way, great figure, just a comical guy, energetic guy, enthusiasm. Man, he can get after it. He can get fired up, especially after a win. But man, it's been.
He's a Marine. He's a Marine. They get fired up. Yeah, he runs hot at times, to say the least. But he's definitely mellowed out since I first got to know him 18 years ago. That's for sure. He was pretty intense dude in the Hilton Head prep days. He's definitely tamed a little bit with age and perspective, but outstanding football coach, leader of men. There's no question, that he plays a big part in wherever he goes. Those programs play in a certain way, being tough, hard-nosed teams that are relentless and respond well to adversity and just keep playing through it. And everybody plays hard, that's kind of the mark of those teams. He doesn't accept anything less,
It's always defense first. That's
always.
That's where he.
It used to be. It is for him, but I think he's accepted. That's one of the ways that he's sort of evolved, is that he's recognized that these kids want to play offense.
Yeah,
they want to play in a fun offense.
Yeah,
and I think that's a big part of why his programs have maintained the success they have. Is because, at these schools, you've seen it. Hilton Head Prep, they don't have enough kids. They never don't have enough kids at Hilton Head Christian Academy because kids want to come out and play and be a part of it. And that starts at the top too. So props to Peduzzi. He's a legend. He's a Lowco legend, no question. I could write a whole book just about Peduzzi.
One of these decades later, after we covered these sports for a long time, when we write a book about it. I'm
going to. It might be a fictionalized account to protect the innocent or not so innocent, but I'll write a book someday. I got so many stories, man. It's wild times around here, but more to come, certainly, because we're upon the high school football playoffs. Here they come. Playoffs. Ready or not, here they come. I had them pulled up here somewhere, all the games.
Playoffs.
Can't find them now. Playoffs.
You got a good general impression every year.
Yeah, playoffs. Talk about playoffs.
So fast, it's like playoffs.
Playoffs. Where did it go? It was just here. I got all the playoff games here that we can talk about. I keep opening the wrong files, though. There we go. This one. All right, so in 4A, the aforementioned Richland Northeast at Bluffton, both are 6-4. Both are really into playing offense. Have sort of viewed defense as optional at times, although Bluffton's defense is playing much better here later in the season, and they're at home. So I think kind of slight edge there, but man, it's going to be a wild game where I think one pick could change it. Yeah, it could go late into the night. So that's going to be fun. I'm a little jelly that you get to be at that one.
Yeah, it's rare we see, two teams match up with that kind of offensive firepower going up against each other. And this Richland team seems like they're going to be a fun matchup for a Bluffton team that likes to spread you out, likes those explosive offensive plays. But as you said, the defense has gotten better, and that may really be where the difference lies. We've seen, the Shane Whitaker, that line, and Bond has been a key factor alongside Jeremiah Curry. So a lot of the guys have grown as years go on, because I think that was one of the biggest factors that we need Bluffton to see for them to get better, was more consistency on defense, just making more tackles, not missing as many. I think that's really, I think the Hillnet game was that started, and I think they've come along strong at that area. So, I think the offense is, they look pretty solid last time out, week 10 against Colleton County. I think they may have won a little bit more against May River, but they're able to use that defense to power them to that win. But I think Gregory likes where this team is headed on both sides of the ball. And I think being at home with that atmosphere, packed student section, I think you got to give advantage to the Bobcats and what could be a fun back and forth game to start the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. They don't lack for confidence at all. Like they believe that they can, not just this week, but every week. And instilling that is a huge part of it at this level, because it's
have that
psychology is everything. Like it really is. If you believe you can, or you believe you can't, you're right. Like it's so true. He's got him believing for sure. You know what I think the turning point was when I called him finesse. I pissed him off. They got tough after that. You're welcome for the call out. No, their offense is designed to be a more finesse offense, but they're playing physical football right now. Make no mistake about it. May River has to go to Myrtle Beach, and Myrtle Beach is kind of rolling right now, and May River doesn't have much offense right now, so I don't like that. And then Colleton has to go to Irmo, which is undefeated, and that's great for Colleton that they get to play another one, but that's an uphill battle.
Myrtle Beach getting hot in the right time. That's what it takes to go deep in the postseason. Sharks just, the offense has been up and down. Macy's been a good weapon, but who else will be able to step up if they try to take it away? So certainly it's going to be a challenge on the road against the Myrtle Beach team that's playing some really good ball. But we'll see how it goes. Sharks have been tough on the road. They played well against King Bay. It was a 7-0 game. So you never can doubt.
The defense travels. The defense can play, period. They're pretty good. They held Bluffton to 21. That's not many people have done that. Bluffton's pretty explosive.
Their defense going to have to keep them in the game.
Yeah, they'll have to. But it'll be tough. They've gotten down at home to Grand Strand teams the last 2 years, so having to go up there is no cakewalk. And speaking of which, in 3A, Buford's got to go plumb to North Carolina almost to Loris. But I think Buford dodged a bullet because they got Loris, but they could have gotten somebody else that was going to be worse. Somebody else got flipped to the other side in the 3-way tie that I was like, oh, it's better to play Loris than whoever they would have had to play. Trying to find it. But I like that matchup for them, actually, after looking at it more and after seeing what their offense looked like on Friday. Dude, their defense didn't stop hand-to-hand at all, but their offense was looking good. And I've got Lowco lights. We should just look at Lowco lights while we talk about this. We should definitely just do that. Here we go. Let's get it past the part where I talk. So we can talk about playoffs through this. How about that? All right. So we got Hampton County. Chris Terry, Lil D, Desmond Mathis. Boom. Up and got it. And then, you know what happened after that? Zion scored. And then we got Zamon Lofties.
Oh,
nice break on that one.
Yeah.
Nice break on that one. And then we got
Zion Johnson. There he is, your Mr. Football finalist. Weaving, zooming to the house.
He had another one that looked almost exactly like that. He had 5 total, and he had 279 on 27 carries. That's Jalen Singletary, who has had a terrific season, by the way.
This Hampton County team really has it all. You have that bruising, that efficient, quick running back. You have a quarterback who can make some plays, and then, of course, that defense has been lights out.
Tony
O'Banner, what a monster!
Run away from him and stiff arm him. Don't take him on.
Don't
slow down. Look at that. He fumbled and then caught it again for a touchdown.
He is just toying with them. My goodness.
Now look at Donovan Robinson playing center field. Boom.
Oof.
Tyree loves that guy, man. He says he's the best safety in SCHSL. Now, here we go. Buford. Jaden Andrews. He scores on the first series. They traded touchdowns for a while, and then Buford only got a field goal at the end of the half. But here's Kevon Rivera. Ooh.
Oh,
he is legit. A big load.
200+ rushing yards in that game for.
And then Samari
Bonds. Shaking big.
He's the thing that not everybody has in the playoffs. Yep. Samari. He's special.
He's got that quick burst energy.
But then look at this guy. Look at this Dodervich guy. Holy cow. Great block there downfield by number 2.
Oh.
So yeah, they were pretty impressive. And then
how about that Bamberg Earhart team though? I was impressed.
So good.
Really clutch fourth down pass.
That Colt Bunch kid, number 19. How good was he?
Oh,
he was good on both sides. Really good.
Yeah.
This little kid Odom.
Excellent. Offensive line
Volk was outstanding. Job. Jamie Downing, number 21.
Yeah, he was playing both ways.
Yep. Everybody was, but he was playing a lot both ways. Look at that, though. That was Bowers.
Bowers with block.
That was sick.
Find some open space.
Look at KJ looking for some. He's hunting a block.
Just shoot that guy. And there he goes.
And he had almost 100 yards rushing.
Yep.
Bowers had a huge game. I'm excited about him next year. They got Deion back as well. They got some guys back.
It's going to be a new look. Definitely going to miss KJ.
A lot of those offensive linemen are back, though.
Yeah,
And then we had the Nest. It was Barbie night at the Nest, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Bonneville and Payne.
Bonneville and Payne. Quick chat before the game.
Wonder who they're talking about.
This was a field goal.
Yeah, Sharks got a field goal. Well, actually, just the one.
There just the one. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jordan Williams bouncing, spinning. I like this guy a lot, dude. I like him. He's good. He's good. And then Cameron Mitchell going to finish it off in the Wildcat, which was interesting. Was Macy hurt or something? I don't know what happened there. Or they just like Cameron on the Wildcat. And then Thaddeus Sarnacki, the freshman.
Oh,
yeah. He got hyped too. Look at him. He's hyped. Yeah, baby. Shy's about a foot taller than him. They love it. But then they've got a chance. They're down 9-6. Oh, 4th and 11. Incomplete.
Man. They've been so close this whole year, Hilton had.
All season.
Sharks right there, Carlton right there. That's 3 games where they just, the offense came up with some untimely results and disappointing.
And then some Dylan Clark doing Dylan Clark things.
Oh. He moves from Dylan Clark there. My goodness.
And then he gets it in. And then he goes hunting Toddy.
Oh, over the top. Beautiful.
Toddy,
what a great addition he's been. Good to see him, 100% full force.
Offense. Libby says Dylan Clark fluty. He is fluty-esque.
Yeah, I can see.
A little fluty-esque.
Yeah.
He's a gunslinger. That's Carnell.
Carnell Warren.
Oh.
Oh.
Carnell's like, nah, son. He's a big boy. And then this might be the play of the year. Last play of the game. Mo Brown rolls to his right, chucks deep into traffic. Winston Smith.
Oh, for the win!
And there's JJ. Debbie Downer.
Wow.
Winston Smith.
How about that?
That's amazing.
What a way
there were like 5 dudes around him
on the season. Man, that's fantastic.
Now we see why CJ was so hyped the other night when we had him on after the game. He was losing his mind. But yeah, that was.
I missed a good one on Lowco Game Day Live. But I'll be back this.
You did.
I'll be back this Friday. Got our.
CJ was hyped.
Yeah.
All right, so we got back to our playoff schedule. 2A, we got Ridgeland Hardyville at Andrew Jackson, which is not an unwinnable game. I don't think. I think that's a winnable game. Andrew Jackson's 7-3. They're good, but it's winnable.
I think
but Hampton should take care of Bishop England, which will be enjoyable.
Pretty easy.
I like that Hampton gets to start with a private school. I want them to start with a private school and end with 2 private schools and win the whole dang thing. Actually, I want them to play Abbeville in the final, but if they have to play Gray Collegiate, that'll be fine too, as long as
numbers. I mean, it doesn't matter, but they were number 3 in the final polls, which means absolutely nothing. The playoffs are. Yeah, I mean,
well, they wouldn't have to see a top 10 team until the lower state final. And so that's cool. Yeah. And they also don't have to go on the road till then. So that's good. Yep. And Ridgeland Hardyville wouldn't have to see a top 10 team in the first 2 rounds either, though. So that's interesting to me. Whale Branch gets a home game. They didn't get the region title, but they get a home game against Lakeview, which I think 2 years in a row or 2 out of the last 3 they've played each other in the playoffs. So that'll be good. Zoe was fired up about it.
Yeah.
So that one will be interesting. And then they would have to go on the road. But again, they won't see – they're ranked 8th. They don't see anyone ranked ahead of them until the lower state final against Bamberg.
Yeah.
Or Marion. No, Marion's in the 2A.
Yeah. Well, Rich would love to see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very possible.
Or Branch will back nothing that really, jumps out and scares you. Obviously, every game you get deeper is like it's going to be a fight.
Well, it's kind of stacked toward the upper state, other than Bamberg. So you just don't really have to mess with anybody.
Don't sleep on Cross though. Cross is
I agree. I think Cross is underrated. I saw them beat Estill last year in the playoffs, and I think they're a really good football team. I've been on them all year.
They are fantastic.
That 1A bracket will be a battle because everybody's going to go both ways.
Well, you don't have to see Cross or Bamberg until the lower state final.
Right.
So I think it works. Obviously, you wanted the 1 seed, you wanted the home field playoff game for at least the first couple rounds, but I think it works out pretty favorably for them.
I think it could. If they can, Johnsonville's always tough, and it's a tough place to play, but it's winnable. It's winnable. Got to get past Lakeview first. It won't be easy. Wild Gators. The Wild Gators. Not just Gators, but Wild
Gators. The Wild Gators.
The Wild Gators. SCHSL 3A, you got PD at HHCA, which should, on paper, go HHCA's way. But like Coach Ron said, PD gave him some fits in the first half last time. JP2 at Florence Christian.
You know what? That's a tough one, but you just
the funky seeding helps JP too, because now they get a 2 seed that should be a 4 seed. So it's not so bad. Kevin Libby says the pet gators are across town. Wild Gators.
But right now, I think Pinewood Prepfield and Christian are the best 2 teams in the bracket.
I do too.
That's
I think Wilson Hall's right there, just a step below.
They're close, but I do think Pinewood Prepfield and Christian, I think that could very well decide it. Although
I guess they did set it up for the Wilson Hall Florence Christian rematch in the semi, so that's kind of interesting. I would think Wilson Hall gets them in the rematch, but where there's a Huntley, there's a way. Florence Christian still got a Huntley, and those boys are tough, man. Those boys are tough. And then SCHSL 2A, Orangeburg Prep at BA. So BA should theoretically get a playoff win, but they haven't lost it, or they haven't won in a minute. So
right.
Maybe that'll get them turned around. And then Northside Christian and Carleton Prep, which Carleton Prep should be pretty handy favorite there, I would think. Skis at 1A, you got Calhoun and Thomas. What's that?
The Chalkfields and 2A, both semifinals would be outstanding. One for BA, Bethesda, Carleton.
Yeah, that would be great. Skis at 1A, you got Calhoun at Thomas Hayward, and then Hayward would get a home game next round 2, presumably against Lee, which would be a really good fight. St. John's Christian.
They know each other pretty well, don't they? Thomas Hayward and
it's at least 3 straight state championships they played each other, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
3 in a row?
Yeah, I know. 2021.
I think that's right.
Every time Charleston Southern, I think it's been Hayward and Lee.
Yeah, I think Hayward beat Lee 2 years in a row, and then Lee beat them last year, right? So, that could be a really good one in the semis. That's like when it used to be Hayward and PD every year in the semis finals back in the day. And then St. John's Christian, Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry should be able to get back on the horse there, but man, they've been kind of Jekyll and Hyde. When they don't show up, they really don't show up. But I think it's matchups more than anything. And I told you last week that Thomas Hayward's secondary is really good. I don't know that they're going to be able to get away with some of the throws they usually get away with.
Easy, though. St. John's Christian.
No, they're not. They'll fight you always.
Yep.
They're tough.
It's not
but I do think Patrick Henry's offense is a tough matchup for most people on defense, but not so much for Hayward because they really defend the pass well. And they're tough in the trenches. So you just don't get anything easy against them. And the other thing is Tyree, even though he's not the head coach, he's maybe the most knowledgeable coach in all of SCHSL when it comes to schemes and understanding how to adjust at halftime and things like that. He is really, really, really good.
Yep.
So I think Hayward's going back to the show, man. I think they're going back to the ship.
I think they're the hottest team now. They're clicking at the right time. They just pounded a really strong Thomas Hayward or a Patrick Henry team, and really all comes to a banner. You got to keep him on the field, and he's got to produce.
Did you see his stats?
Yeah,
they were crazy. They were crazy. Tyree sent them to me. They were just nuts.
Hey.
Tyree. He went for 289 yards and 5 touchdowns rushing and passed for 82 yards. He's crazy good. Just crazy good.
Yep.
And he's a sophomore, by the way. I don't know if people remember that, but he's only a sophomore.
He's just getting started, folks.
He's special. And then Holy Trinity sneaks into the 8-man playoffs, and they will open that top-seeded Richard Wynn Academy. So could be a short playoff time for Holy Trinity, but they got in there. They get one more game, so good stuff. So that's it for the playoff slate. Let's shout out the Lowco Booster Club real quick before we get out of here. We got Prime IV Hydration and Wellness now open in Belfair Town Village. Go see Max and get juiced up while you lay in the massage chair. And then you've got Rooted Living Wellness. My guy, Dr. Ambrose, over there is the best chiropractor around. So if you're not feeling right, need to get cracked up, or if you're an athlete who has an overuse injury, you got that shoulder, elbow, knee ligament, whatever that's bothering you, go see Ambrose, and he will help you work that out and figure out how you can prevent that in the future. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country will get those floors so clean your feet will thank you. Chris Odom probably going to be out scaring the children tomorrow night on Halloween. Horror man. No, he's the nicest. He does love horror movies though. But he'll get your floors clean, all the floors. Really looking for some commercial business in Beaufort. So all you Beaufort businesses who need to keep the floors clean for your customers, call Chris Odom at Barefoot Floor Care at the Low Country. Eagle Creations, one of the best kept secrets around for your full scale marketing and promotion items, as well as your custom apparel in a pinch, or your Proudly Southern gift baskets. Great time for those. And the Court Lifestyle Pros, Low Country natives, Daniel and Debbie Court, selling the Lowco lifestyle on HHI. That's the Lowco Booster Club. You can join it by hitting me up at LowcoSports@gmail.com, LOWCO sports@gmail.com. We'll start you for as low as $50 a month. And Wes, one thing less to do. Name the teams of the week. Who you got?
Well, we got one sitting right there. We had a new state championship squad. the JP2 boys, your cross-country skis, a 3A state champions. They go 4.56. Zach Henderson, Blake Kubik, Sebastian Frickel, the sensational sophomores, 17:24, and then both Kubik and Frickel both also breaking the 18-minute mark. So consistent success is what you need there at the top. And then Matthew Janicek, James Hook also with sub-19 times to help propel JP2. Look at the youth. I mean, your top 4 finishers are all sophomores. You have junior servers going to be back next year. So opportunity to run it back. But, Hilton Head Christian Academy knocking on the door. You got 8th grader Max LaRue, who had a nice performance, as well as senior Ash Children, another 8th grader, and Kennedy Vance. So some young standouts over there for HHCA, but JP2 really running away with it with a couple right there at the top. So congratulations to the Golden Warriors on bringing home another state title. We are racking them up here in the fall, and we could have some more to come. Still some cross country events left in high school league, but already a state champ here in the Skeezer rank. So congratulations to these Golden Warriors on getting it done.
Heck yeah, awesome stuff. It's been a minute. I don't think they've ever had a state title in cross country, but it's been a minute since
Holy Trinity's been carrying last years.
Yeah, Holy Trinity is in the they've been 1A and 2A, and Cross has been strong in 1A, but it's been a minute since one of the bigger SCHSL schools has won one. So that's really good work from them. JP2 again. Shout out to the kid in my neighborhood. Well did, says Kevin Libby. I don't know the kid in my neighborhood. It's got to be one of them top 3 kids though, because this dude is running all the time, constantly. He looks fast too. So. He's got to be one of them. But props to JP2. I'll go with the one in front of us tonight, Roger Wilson's team, Bridges Prep Volleyball. I got to be there the other night when they took down Lada. And again, dropped the first set. And it's real easy to get down on yourself and let things get away when you do that in a big emotional match like that. But they were able to keep their cool. And then they got down 5-0 right off the bat in the second set. And I was like, oh, boy, this thing's going to snowball.
Yeah, you're screwed
but they turned the tide immediately. Roger took a timeout. They got it back to like 7-6 right off the bat. And we're back in it. And then we're able to take that set and roll through the next 2. So
game of runs.
I think they're a little young, and I thought that that he was right about the jitters. There were some jitters, but I thought that once they settled in, they played really well. And I think that if they have some leaders step up and really make sure that everybody is giving their all on every play, because I felt like there were a couple of players that could give a little bit more effort at times. If they give full effort all the time, like they could win. They could win the whole thing. They could certainly win this match tomorrow night. So exciting stuff. And it's cool to see a young program like that, like gain steam and gain confidence and swagger as they go.
We've gotten to see, Hilton has been a dynasty for several times throughout their career in volleyball, but it's great to see, a team rise from, a spot,
a new contender.
Yeah, a contender and become a top, team right there, compete for a state championship. Those are the kinds of stories that we love, and really fits the bill of what this Bridges Prep team is able to do. And, a coach who's been seen a lot, and when you see a lot, you know how to produce and develop a team, and he's done that outstandingly this year. And it's been fun. It's been fun to follow that type of story and that type of group, and his coaching. Taking the time to call timeout in that situation, calming a team down, because these are teenagers. These are 14 to 18-year-old ladies, and same thing for men. The emotion at high school sports, we've talked about this before. At like football, the emotion gets to you, in a a much different type of way, and a much more of a type of way, more a strong type of way at this level. And sometimes it gets the better of you. So for a coach, calm his players down, get them situated, get them focused, and just reset those types of timeouts and believe in each other when the chips are down like that, when you're down 5-0 in the second set, when you're going to drop the first. That takes some extra level of just motivation and belief to come out of that type of hole. That's a deep hole, and that's a special group. be able to recover from that, and then really from there they ran away with it in the third and fourth. There was no stopping them when they found that mojo, and that's all it takes. And now they'll be riding high heading into another home match with another packed student section. It's gonna be a blackout. Gonna be one epic night, and hopefully they can keep it going and take this thing to states on Saturday.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a great environment. We've talked a lot about that gym and how compact it is, and just the acoustics in there. There's something about it that it gets loud, and they had a great crowd the other night. Beaufort turned out big time to support them. Latta had a huge crowd that came down. I'm sure Lakeview will have they'll travel well for a lower state championship. So you're going to have a real treat tomorrow night, trick or treat.
Oh
yeah, that's a good one. But it'll be fun, and I look forward to hearing about it. And we'll definitely fill everybody in Thursday night on the show, and maybe we'll have some Bridges Prep volleyball guests to talk about a state championship match that's coming up. I know we're going to have Tyree Simmons, and he says he's bringing Tony O'Banner on the show on Thursday, and we'll see who else we can line up. Should be a good time. And then Friday, we're doing apparently 3 shows now on it. We're going 3 shows on Friday, one of them on location out in Hampton. So we're doing the most, but basketball season's coming. We got Lowco Hoops Report right around the corner because USCB Hoops is coming. In fact, I want to get a preview episode out in the next week because we got basketball coming. So getting the crew together. If you want to contribute to our basketball coverage this season, if you're going to be in gyms all winter and you want to take a little cell phone video or come on the show and tell us about games you're at, hit us up. We want more the merrier. We're going to have a lot of games to cover. Only a couple of us. We need all the help we can get. So looking forward to that. But thanks so much to all of our sponsors. Thanks to Roger Wilson from Bridges Prep Volleyball, Bracken Lambert from USCB Athletics, and the legend Ron Peduzzi from Hilton Head Christian Academy Football jumping on with us tonight. Thanks to everybody who came along for the ride. All these friends who said hi on the stream. We appreciate you. Kendra Davis, Dan Tooman, Dave Carrick. Bravo, Charlie. I didn't put yours up there, but you always tell us thanks, and we appreciate that. And Kevin Libby wants to know, what sponsor level can we get Wes to play the piano? You've got keyboards behind you, so play us off, keyboard Wes. Renix, you on the call tomorrow night? You got the Lions tomorrow? You and Larry? I'm yelling like he can hear me. He can hear me, but not if I talk louder. It's not like he's in the other room. But Renix was over there on the call the other night. I told a lady from Latta, that's the best official in our area, all sports right there, because he's an honest man. So he's got R2, he says. They don't let the moms and dads call the Lions in the playoffs, thank God. It's always the most sketchy thing about volleyball. You walk in and somebody is calling the Lions, and their kids on the team, and you're like, what? This is not going to end well. But luckily, I've known some honest people who volunteered for that job. Wes will be over there, Mark. You'll see Wes over at Bridges. I'll be on trick-or-treat duty, but I'll be interested in the results. So that's going to do it for tonight. Thanks so much to all of our guests, all of our sponsors, all of our friends of Lowco. We appreciate you. Couldn't do it without you. And we'll see you next time. Till then, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.